Dragons. Dragons. I don't know what this video is, actually. It's SCP-1762, and my chat voted for it, asking me to check out where the dragons went. We're doing, I think, a more condensed version of it, which is supposed to be 20 minutes long, but I talk a lot, so this video is going to be much longer than that. Before we get started, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below to feed the algorithm quads. Linked in the description is the original video, so please go support that. That'd be greatly appreciated, because the only way I'm able to do reactions on this channel is with awesome creators who make videos like these. So please support the original and support me too while you're at it, shawty. Why does the title for this say, "This story will hurt your soul"? Should I be concerned? Let's get into it.
Are we all ready? Tissue box on standby?
Oh!
And the eye drops? Okay.
I do.
Okay. We can do this.
Okay.
No tears this time, right?
What?
If all of this seems like a little much to you, it's probably because you don't know what we're about to do here. The story
I have no idea.
I want to share with you in this video is one I've been wanting to share for a long time now. I just wanted to be ready for it. But I finally had to accept it.
Okay, got my tissue box.
There is no way to be ready. This is more than a story. It's a confrontation with one of the hardest realities we dreamers have to face. If you're creative, if you've ever imagined anything, if you love fantasy, it will break your heart.
What?
And that's all there is to it. You've been warned. So, if you think your heart can take it, let me share with you the tale of where the dragons went.
I don't think my heart can take it. I don't think it can. I'll do it anyways, but I'm sensitive. I'm not a very emotionally stable person. I'm gonna curl myself up in my blanket. I have fears.
A big thanks to everyone who made this video possible. Everyone who continues to watch, like, subscribe to these videos, and especially all of you who have decided to support the show on Patreon, thank you so much.
I like the animations.
There is absolutely no way we could make something like this without all of your help.
I should build more assets for my videos. Stuff like this always inspires me.
Our story is a fantasy, but it doesn't start in a medieval village or an alien otherworld. It starts in a cold, bare, unloving observation chamber deep in the bowels of a high-security containment facility. A place owned and run by an organization known as the SCP Foundation.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of them, that's about par for the course. They like it that way. They're a covert operation dedicated to protecting the world from the unknowable and the anomalous. Their usual charges are apocalyptic monsters, mimetic viruses, reality-warping artifacts, and other such nuisances. But one of the most fabulous of them all is, or was, a cardboard box.
Huh?
You may not have thought much of it
if
you'd come across it on your own. Little bigger than a shoebox, spray-painted silver, the words "Here be dragons" written in permanent marker on the lid, otherwise entirely empty and unremarkable in every way. It would have looked to you like a children's arts and crafts project, and nothing more.
I'm pretty sure my sister did something similar to that with the box. So maybe they took hers?
Imagine your surprise then when all by itself, the box came open and out billowed clouds of black smoke and flocks of tiny flying origami dragons.
Aww!
This is why the Foundation had to keep the box under lock and key.
That's pretty.
There was something inside it that they didn't understand. Although the box was always empty, the paper dragons and the smoke seemed to materialize from the opening as if from somewhere else.
Another
And
dimension!
the dragons themselves were no children's craft project either. They were alive, animate, aware of their surroundings. They would flutter about and play happily with each other or anyone else in the room until it was time again to vanish back into the empty box.
They're so cool!
This went on for some time, the scientists and containment specialists watching the dragons come and go, wondering why. Until one day, the dragons brought an answer. Or rather, a question. It came in the form of a letter found resting atop the box, which read, "You have found us. Thank you. It has been so long since we last saw each other, friends. The peace has been upheld. The giants and behemoths have kept their word and have not caused any trouble since you last came and gave the order. We missed your company. How has your family been? Do you still know how to work your room? You are welcome to visit anytime.
Don't visit. Don't you dare, you freaky ass scientists. No. Let our dragon friends be happy and alone in their world after we saved them from the giants and behemoths. They're living their best life. Do not go there and fuck it up.
The Foundation provides no explanation of the possible implications of this message, but I think it's pretty clear what we're dealing with here. A portal fantasy.
Yep.
Like the ones in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, some kids, through their imagination and creativity, either created or found their way into a fantasy otherworld. And now, for whatever reason, they've gone away, and the denizens of the box await their return. The Foundation continued to observe. Later the same year, another letter arrived from within the box. This time it said, "It's strange to see how much your world has changed. It is even stranger to see how we now appear in this place. In fantasy, we are much bigger. Or maybe you've grown taller? Fantasy is still the same. We hope you can visit us like you used to."
Oh, it's so cool because they say, like, fantasy is the location. Oh, that's so... Oh.
Our room is as grand as ever. It appears yours has shrunken? We do not understand. The rooms were supposed to be maintained, as was our agreement. Please, restore the belief. This is where the tragedy begins. Brace yourselves.
No!
It seems the dragons were starting to understand that things had changed, though it was difficult for them to grasp how. The children's bedroom, which had been the conduit from one world to another, had now been replaced with this sad little containment chamber, and without the belief of the children who'd found them, they could only manifest in our world as shadows of their true selves.
What the
These little
fuck?
paper things. But their hope wasn't yet gone. They were sure that their creators would never abandon them, and only requested that things be set right again. Later, the following year, after a long and fruitless wait, the dragons came with yet another letter.
This is stupid. If you're the researchers at this facility, wouldn't you try to create a chamber that looks like a bedroom at least? Where you have, like, Class D children, maybe? Within it? Who interact with the dragons? Like, you could... You're not even trying. Like, you're not even trying. It's just a blank fucking room with a box. Like, you're not doing anything. Because even out of scientific curiosity, wouldn't you try? I mean, listen, children can be fucked up. I'm sorry. Do you guys not... Have y'all not heard about the 8-year-old serial killer? Are you telling me that's not a Class D? What the fuck is that? I'm sorry. Do y'all not realize when he asked for a cookie after he finished murdering people? He literally asked for a cookie? This is a real story. Does that not count? Just wondering. Because I'm pretty sure you should kill that child. That seems like too far gone if they're already murdering people by 8 years old and asking for cookies. Just saying. All right, Alicia, we get you. Thank you. Seems Death 13 lives. Stop making JoJo's references, God damn it. Because then I'm going to start making too many JoJo's references. So you want him around these dragons. All right, you might have a point. He probably would rip the dragons up or some shit. Never mind. Never mind. But I thought you loved children. Dude, I love people in general. But I don't like fucking crazy ass motherfuckers who start slaughtering people. Are you crazy? Like, oh my god, it's like, oh my god, he's a little hellspawn. Oh my god, he takes the lives of others. I love him. What the fuck's wrong with you? In anime, it's fine. Because they're just characters. In real life, that's fucked. Just because of your age doesn't make it okay for you to, like, literally kill people. What? Just saying, damn. Y'all's moral compasses are weird, man.
This time, instead of the brilliant, fluttering flock 100 strong, a mere 20 emerged from the box. They would not fly, instead walking lethargically about on their feet. The letter said the following. Friends, we apologize for our few numbers. We have had to remain in fantasy for quite some time. The others are growing impatient. We are trying to keep the peace, but please, for all of our happiness, repair the room quickly. We know you are trying. Your family is the most imaginative of us all. It seems that without their creator's belief, things weren't going so well in the world of the box.
Oh, shit.
But, not knowing who its owner was, there was little the Foundation could do except watch and wait. Sometime after that, the Foundation won't say how long, another letter arrived. This time, it came with just 10 dragons. And they weren't alone. The box expelled 3 balls of yellow, crumpled construction paper,
No!
which shook violently on the ground for several seconds before ceasing all motion. The dragons scooped them up and returned them to the box. The letter read, simply, "The giants were foolish.
They tried launching attacks?
Your room was not ready to accept them yet. We're sorry, friends. We hope that we can still see you, but time is growing short for our happiness."
Oh, no. They tried to come okay. Never
The dragons, apparently the ones closest to the children whose imagination made this portal between the worlds possible, were barely able to materialize as paper dolls in a world that doesn't
Yeah, the
believe in
giants
them.
literally just turned
The
into
giants
crumples.
never stood a chance.
They turned to crumpled paper.
After
That's so
that,
sad.
Carried by just 5 dragons.
I originally
this
thought that it was
time,
supposed to be a launched of attack, but then like I realized after that the giants were just when they said the letter part,
another
that was
letter.
so sad.
Tensions are rising. Fantasy is becoming darker. We, the serpents and the hybrids, are furiously trying to hold them back, but the giants and the elves wish to strike and make an entrance. They say that your family has grown stupid and ignorant. We hope this
True.
is untrue. It would sadden us all greatly to know that you have forgotten. As the reality of their abandonment set in, it seems as though the creatures of fantasy were becoming desperate. My guess is that it escalated into a conflict not between the races of their world, but between their beliefs. That they must either grasp hold of reality themselves if they want to be a part of it, or trust their fate to the hands of absent creators. Eventually, a single red dragon pulled itself out of the box. Wings torn, noticeably crumpled, it collapsed to the floor and did not move again. As the life went out of it, its body unfolded into a sheet of paper, bearing a message only 3 words long.
No.
War. Goodbye, friends. Over the next 6 weeks, the box became a miniature apocalypse.
I hate these scientific fucks, dude. I hate them so. We can't engage with the experiment. Do not provide stimuli. We must observe only. Fuck you. Fuck you.
The flame burst from within over and over, hot enough to melt steel, taller than a man. Distant roars sounded from deep inside. It spewed out shreds of torn paper, crumpled paper balls, and the lifeless bodies of the paper dragons. There were a great many of them at first, but fewer and fewer as the weeks went on. For a while, near the end, instead of paper scraps, the box began to release what looked like scraps of flesh and muscle tissue. And then, for 7 long months, nothing. The box lay dormant. When a message finally did arrive, for the first time since the box had come into the Foundation's possession, it came without a messenger. They found it lying inside the box, words blurred and stained with blood on the parchment. It read, "Are you still out there, friends?
Oh!
We miss you dearly.
No!
Fantasy is no longer safe. Our haven, your beautiful creation, is gone.
Oh.
The giants are dead. The centaurs are dead. The birds have fled. We are going to bury your room. We cannot risk hurting you. This is our goodbye. Maybe one day, your family can build another room. This may be a hollow hope, but we will cherish this thought." After the researchers read the message, the box began to deteriorate. The
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like the it's so fucked because it's not just that like, oh, the dragon's fantasy world is dying, but it's the idea that like there's hope for just like the love and creativity of a child to open the door to other worlds, and we can't even have that. And it's like as adults, we ruin that because we don't give the opportunity for it to prosper and for us to be imaginative and to have faith in like the things that are just what we perceive as to be like incomprehensible, right? To the point where it's like literally dying in front of you and you still don't have a belief in it strong enough to help make it better and to be imagined enough to oh my god.
dragon seemed to be holding on to an ember of hope, but it didn't stop the smoke from rising out of the box one final time, or the box from sagging and at last collapsing. It didn't stop the cardboard from charring through, crumbling away in small, black-edged holes. It didn't stop the words, "Here be dragons," from burning away forever. The dragons couldn't hold on to hope forever. After one more period of waiting, holding on to that last ember, the dragons let go. The Foundation received one final message from the box, a papyrus scroll. Most of it was covered in a
Undertale.
painting of a
I'm kidding.
mountainous landscape filled with large trees and waterfalls. In the distance, there was what appeared to be a single dragon flying toward the horizon. In the bottom right corner, written in black ink, were their parting words. "Master says that we won't see you again. We are sad. So are the remaining others. We once filled each other's heads with dreams and goals. It is so sad that we cannot share them any longer."
God, it's even more upsetting because it's like, because they're talking about how they helped each other, you know. So it's like the dragon also had impact on those people, on those kids. The whole world did. So it's like it affects both. It just
"Master says we have to go. He says that he will make us a new fantasy. He says you cannot be a part of it. We are sad. We love you. We will not forget you.
oh
We are scared. Will you forget us?"
no!
As soon as the scroll was removed from the box, salt water began to leak from the charred
Oh my
remains.
god, literally
It seemed
crying.
to wash away the
No.
burns, to cleanse all the scars of war. Within 3 minutes, the entire thing had been restored to its original state. No bigger than a shoebox, spray-painted silver, text written in Sharpie on the lid. Only now the words, "Here be dragons," had been replaced with the words, "Here were dragons." Now you probably understand the tissue box. I'd let you borrow it if I could, but it's a really painful story in a really unexpected way. We're sad about the dragons, yes, we're sad about the world inside the box, but I think the reason this story hurts so much goes deeper than that. I think it touches something innate to all of us, forces us to confront one of the harshest of all realities, that every fantasy, no matter how precious, how intimate, will die in the end. And it's true for more than
And that's the bright side about VTubing. Because I could be a grown ass woman in my late 20s and still be a fucking elf bitch on the internet. Yay!
than just the fantasies of our novels and fairy tales. The fantasy of youth, the fantasy of a permanent self, the fantasy of life. All of them have to pass. I'm reminded of a passage from a poem by William Wordsworth, Ode, Intimations of Immortality. The opening lines have haunted me since I first read them. "There was a time when meadow, grove, and stream, the earth and every common sight, to me did seem apparelled in celestial light, the glory and the freshness of a dream. It is not now as it hath been of yore. Turn wheresoe'er I may, by night or day, The things which I have seen, I now can see no more. The promise of the phrase, "Here be dragons," is one of mystery. It tells us that there is a world unknown. This empty part of the map
Fuck you, man. My therapist is gonna hear about this video.
could be home to the creatures of our imagination. Who can be sure? The cruelty of the phrase, "Here were dragons," is that it doesn't even negate that promise. It tells us that it was fulfilled and that it never will be again. The terrain is mapped, it is known, and definitively, where once there were fabulous beasts and things out of our dreams, we know now that the magic has passed. As a creative, my instinct is to fight this idea. I have always loved to believe that dreams outlive the dreamer, that thoughts exist independent of the thinker. I still do believe that in some ways, but fantasies are unique to the ones experiencing them. It's what makes them so precious. Give 1,000 people the same book to read, and every one of them will see something different in their mind's eye. Sit 1,000 people down to watch a film, and they'll all have different interpretations and reactions. Give 1,000 writers the same prompt, and you'll receive 1,000 different stories. Without all of those individual readers, moviegoers, writers, the versions of the fantasy unique to them vanish. And it will happen to each in their time. Either circumstance or mortality will eventually change the person, and so the fantasy.
Okay. Oh. I'm gonna pause the video there and stop it because the actual SCP story ended. And, I'm gonna end up just listening to him and not saying anything, and that's not how I do content on the channel. I prefer to be transformative and give input, so I can't really do that much if he's just kind of saying his thing. But much respect to him. I don't know if I mean, I'm in like a weird situation. I like the video a lot. I wish I paused it as soon as the story ended, because I kind of wanted to give my own interpretation, but I like that their video is their interpretation of everything, which is nice. No, don't say he's yapping, right? It's his YouTube video, right? He can talk as much as he wants to, just like how I talk as much as I want to, right? Is there more to the story? I thought the story ended there. I can't tell if the story's still going, if they're still talking. It's sad, but there's more?
Revolve around the knowledge of what's coming. Maybe even is that the feeling itself is an admission of things lost. Experience, see no more.
Oh.
To live, the fantasy must die. The things which I have seen, I now can see no more.
Okay, he's still quoting. Oh.
Give them so much more poignant. It reminds us to breathe.
Okay.
After almost 8 years of inactivity, the box stirred.
Oh, there we go.
Purple smoke began to rise from it, and as it opened, it fell to the floor, spilling out a large chunk of amethyst and a leather-bound book. The box disintegrated soon after, taking every trace of the world that had been with it.
Oh.
Every trace except for the book. Inside, you find the fantasy again, but in a different way. It turns out someone had traveled the world of fantasy while it was alive and cataloged its many species and environments.
That's so
The book
sweet.
is called Beasts of the Old Letters, and through it, the fantasy comes alive in our own minds. It becomes our portal, even without the magic of the box.
Okay, I love that. That's
The
nice.
amethyst was inscribed with the words, "One last time." Sometimes, that's all a fantasy needs. Be good to yours. Share them. I say that like it's an easy thing to do. Really, as
I can't tell if there's more to the story, if that's where it ends. That's where it ends, right? Okay. Volgan's video is long, but he reads the book? Oh, shit, he reads the book in his? Oh, wow. If this video gets 3K likes, we'll check out that version instead. I'm down to see what the book is like. So it's in your hands, YouTube. Holy fuck. I think it's such a beautiful notion about, like, child whimsy, and how we literally create worlds within our minds, but that can be expressed through literal meaning. And it's like, oh no, the way that it dies as we grow. I think it's kind of nice about what's happening in like the modern era though, is that with the use of like technology and the way that we interact with others, it kind of creates its own magic in this world, right? Where we're in the most connected era where you can create these like interpersonal relationships with others without ever seeing them in person. And that's its own kind of magic too, right? Where before you would have to meet someone in person to become their friend. But now we're in such an online space that it I feel like other things like that are also beautiful. So, I think there's like aspects that are in our modern day still very fantastical that could never have been dreamt of in like previous lifetimes. So, I don't know, I think magic is kind of everything, right? And the more it develops, the more that we get into. Anyways, thanks for your love and support always. We'll catch you later. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, folks!